We start with something that's going to be very helpful for you for football season and the holidays, okay? So support comes from ZBiotics. Now, I've got to tell you about this game changer that I use before a night out. It is called pre-alcohol. ZBiotics is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic created by PhD scientists to help you feel great the next day. You know, here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol turns into a toxic byproduct right in your gut. And that's what makes you feel rough the next morning. It's not that dehydration where everyone says, oh, you're dehydrated. No, it's a toxic byproduct that's in your gut. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme that breaks that stuff down. I first tried it before a big night out dinner. I've told you before, right? The next morning, up early, feeling great, ready to do this show, feeling like myself. And now with fall here, as I said, football weekends, tailgates, you know, they're back. So make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night. Enjoy yourself and still crush the next day. Go to zbiotics.com/lemon to get 15% off of your first order with code LEMON. And if you're not happy for any reason, they're going to refund you. No questions asked. That's zbiotics.com/lemon. Good evening, everyone. What did you say, Snoo77? What? Come on now. Shit. Thank you very much. That was very kind. I just saw someone had a complimentary thing about me in the chat. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. So glad that you're here. Hi, Wanda Bridges. Let me know where you guys are streaming from or watching us from. Got a big show for you. And, you know, Elimination, I just have to tell you, I'm so happy and proud of you. So I don't know if you guys remember when I was in New York City the other night and I bumped into this guy and his name is John Heileman Heileman. And he is a writer and a contributor over at MSNBC, and he does all kinds of things. He used to work for the circus that was on Showtime. And so anyway, I bumped into him. Do you remember that guy? So he said, Don, I had no idea of the power of, you know what, this is a little wide. He said, I had no idea of the power of independent media and the power of elimination, because he said, I just didn't know. He goes, I think he said he heard from more people than when he's actually like on cable news. He said, I heard from so many people that it came back to him so many times, like his college roommate, I think he said, or a friend from college. I forget exactly what he said. Andy, make sure I'm in the middle. Am I in the middle? You put up that little thingy.
You want to show everyone the behind the scenes here?
Yeah, sure. Good. All right. I am.
There you go.
Thank you very much. So, he said he heard it from so many people, and he just said, I had no idea of the reach you had. He goes, I knew that you had established a beachhead in independent media, but I had no idea of the reach and the power. And so I was like, wow. And so I don't think people even realize that. I swear I tell you all the time, and Tim notices when he's out, at dinner, people come over to the table. I'm like, wow. I mean, I want to eat, but I don't want to disturb the people that I'm eating with all the time, but it is very heartening. So thank you so much. So make sure that you're a subscriber, okay? Make sure that you're a member of the Lemon Nation. I've been told by everyone that my memberships are too low, but I like to keep it affordable, okay? And so there you go. So hit the thumbs up. It affects the algorithm. Hit the like. And thank you again for all of your support. So welcome to the Don Lemon Show, everybody. Remember our coverage of No Kings starting Saturday, 11 a.m. on this channel until that No Kings protest, the march, until it is over. We're going to be here covering it. Join me. I'm going to be on with Joy Reid and Jim Acosta. A whole lot of folks are going to join us, including Jennifer Welch, Angie Plum Sullivan from the I've Had It ladies. We're going to get D.L. Hughley on. We're going to get Eric Swalwell on. We have our regulars, Tara Setmeyer, a bunch of folks. I'm working on getting Jasmine Crockett, but we have a bunch of people who are going to be on, politicians, thought leaders, everyone, okay? So make sure you join us for that. Michael Fanone's going to be on. Jolly's going to be on. A lot of folks are going to be on with us, and we're going to be covering it from start to finish if you cannot get out there. But, you know, I think you should exercise your First Amendment right, freedom to organize and assemble, okay? Thank you, Marilyn Marlowe, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Lemon Nation, and welcome to all of our new members. I'm going to try to do this without glasses because I get tired of wearing these glasses. They keep going. I have to keep pushing them up because I just don't have much of a nose. And it's mine. It's not like a Michael Jackson thing. This is all mine. Okay. So good evening, my friends. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. As we are streaming to you tonight, once again, there's major breaking news to tell you about. Moments ago, a federal grand jury indicted the former National Security Advisor, John Bolton. Bolton is the third person to be hit with federal charges in the last month after President Donald Trump called for their prosecution, okay? Bolton was indicted in federal court. It happened in Maryland, where he lives, and where prosecutors have been investigating whether he improperly retained classified materials following his acrimonious departure from the first Trump administration. Now, remember, we were on live when his home was being raided, right? So his lawyer is Abby Lowell. Abby Lowell is representing all of these people pretty much. I think, yeah, he's representing all three of them, I believe, and including the women who Donald Trump has targeted after, he tried to get him fired, et cetera, so on, so on, so on. So Abby Lowell has maintained that the former diplomat had handled records appropriately. The FBI conducted searches of Bolton's Maryland home and his Washington, D.C. office. That was back in August. Again, we carried it for you live. Redacted search warrant application showed law enforcement cited Bolton's 2020 book, Pre-Publication Review, and the hack of Bolton's AOL account by a foreign entity as a basis for a probable cause to search his residence and his office. Again, this is a breaking news. John Bolton, the former National Security Advisor, has been indicted. Another one of Donald Trump's political rivals being indicted. Now, remember, I told you this morning, I had a long introduction to this show about just how dangerous this is. This is a break the glass moment. This is unbelievable, and everyone should be frightened by this, by having a president of the United States stand in the Oval Office and say, hey, you, head of the FBI, you, head the Attorney General of the United States, you need to be prosecuting these people. You need to be indicting these people, and here you go. The foreign entity's name remains unclear, as it section was redacted in the filings that were made public here. So the book that is in question here referred to an in-search warrant was Bolton's room where it happened. Do you remember that book? It chronicled the tumultuous time as Trump's national security advisor. The 2020 book became problematic for Trump before it was even released. During his first impeachment, the case involved allegations that the president withheld military aid to Ukraine to force it to announce an investigation into Biden and his son, Hunter Biden. Bolton was spilling the tea. Donald Trump didn't like it. Bolton said in the book that Trump had explicitly told him that's why he was withholding the aid. Trump denied it. Trump was acquitted in the Senate in a trial, called for Bolton to be prosecuted after his book was released. He released massive amounts of classified and confidential, but classified information. Okay, so that is illegal, and you go to jail for that. That's what Trump told Fox News in an interview at the time. None of that has been proven. That's an allegation by Trump. So far, innocent until proven guilty. So Bolton denied that the book included classified information. Court filings related to the search warrant show the FBI had been investigating Bolton for years. Agents had interviewed him 8 times between October 2020 and June of 2025 at his office, according to the application. So that is where we start this evening. What do you think of this? I want to know in the comments what you think of this. And by the way, Legends, this is supposed to be a Legends show. This is usually the Legends Day, but one of our producers, Nikki, is out, who is very helpful in these situations. It takes a lot to get all of those people, all of you guys on the screen. So stand back and stand by. We're going to get you on. It's just that we're down a person because Nikki is out on vacation. Okay. So I would just want you to stop and think for a second. I want you to really look at what's happening around you. I'm not talking about the headlines that they feed you. I'm not talking about the distractions that they toss like breadcrumbs, right? But I want to talk about the pattern that is, there's a pattern underneath all of this, because the pattern is bigger. It's more dangerous. It's more deliberate than they want you to believe. It's sicker than they want you to believe. Now, I'm sure some of these people are sitting there going, oh my God, what are we doing? And then I'm sure some are like, they've already sold their souls. Can you imagine thinking that this is a good thing to do this? Can you imagine having that kind of, being in that kind of headspace, that kind of mentally delusional, evil mindset? So it starts with one simple, terrifying truth that this man is using the power of the state to punish his enemies. As we said this morning, one sick puppy. First, it was Letitia James, the attorney general in New York, who dared to investigate his finances and expose the fraud at the heart of his empire. She did her job, and he turned her into a target. And then James Comey, right, is also involved, also indicted. The FBI director refused to pledge blind loyalty to Donald Trump. They fired him. They humiliated him. Now they're trying to humiliate him again. And now he's facing the machinery of prosecution. And now today, John Bolton, Donald Trump's own former national security advisor, his own former national security advisor, a man, by the way, who he despises. He dragging into court. This is injustice. This is vengeance. Donald Trump wants revenge. He doesn't want to enforce the law. He wants to show power. He's weaponizing it. This is about weaponizing the law. It's about teaching a lesson. If you cross him, he's going to come for you. If you don't kiss his ass, he's going to come for you. If you defy him, he's going to try to destroy you. If you stand up to him, he's going to try to use every lever of government to make you regret it. But be strong, everyone. Be strong, Comey and Bolton and James. Trust the process. The law is on your side. It's going nowhere. And he looks like a fool. He looks like an idiot, except he thinks it's a big deal. He just wants to make their lives harder. It doesn't, I mean, what would they, I guess, look, financially it sucks, but this is something that you leave to your lawyers and you just trust the process. Say, here's what I have. Here's what it is. Update me when you need to. Otherwise, I'm going about my life and my business. This is something that you cannot be bothered by because trust the process. None of these people will face any consequences except for having to pay a lot of money for legal fees. And I wonder if there's any way that Donald Trump has to pay the fees. Probably not, because he's not doing it as a private citizen. We're paying for this. We're having to pay the fees. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm not Letitia James, I'm not James Comey, I'm not John Bolton, you're missing the point, because the purpose of targeting the powerful isn't just to punish them. It's to send a message to you. He wants to remind you that he can do that. He can also just pick you up and arrest you. Come on, people. Why are we letting this sick, deranged person infect our lives? Why? This is mental. I don't even know what the word is. It's abuse. It's mental abuse. This man is sick. There's something wrong with him. And all of you people who are sitting there on the news and pretending like having these conversations like this, no, it's not normal. Something is wrong with him. Something is wrong with our country. Remember, the Pentagon wants you, news media, to run everything by them. What? Hello? You guys, I'm tired of screaming at you. You better wake up. This is to remind you that if he can do it to them, he can do it to anyone, and he will. So you better fall in line. Right? Because that brings us to what's happening on the streets of this country, where the same impulse, that same sort of inclination or appetite for control is now playing out in real time in Chicago. I want to introduce you to this man in Chicago. His name is Ruben Antonio Cruz, 60 years old. He has heart problems. He is a lawful permanent resident of the United States. He was sitting with a friend when ICE agents pulled up. They asked if he had his papers. He said yes, but they were at home. They shoved him into a truck. They interrogated him. This is reportedly what they did, about his dead parents, and then fined him $130,000 for not carrying proof of his existence. Show me your papers. Is that what we've gotten to? Anyone who has been a member of a marginalized group or a group of people who have been attacked or discriminated against, and especially my Jewish brothers and sisters who know all about the show me your papers thing and proof that you're not a Jew. Are you outraged by this? Are you standing up for these folks? What are you doing? They fined him $130 for not carrying proof of his existence. Show me your papers. I don't have any papers on me. I'm an American citizen. When the thing is, it should be the other way around. Show me your papers, ICE agents. Where is the warrant? Where is the proof? I need a warrant, a signed warrant by a judge. Otherwise, you are impinging upon my rights, my Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. So, no, you show me your papers. But again, they think that you work for them when it's the other way around. They work for you, the very people that they're picking up and charging $130. Now, here's the weird thing. Can you imagine that you go through this? You're not supposed to be picked up. You spend all that time at a lockup, and then you get out and they say, okay, because you didn't have your papers, $130. What the fuck? How about this man turning around and suing the shit out of them? So I want that to sink in. A man who has legal status, who belongs here, fined for not having his paperwork in his pocket. And he is the lucky one because you remember I talked to you about 66-year-old Luther in Chicago, black man, born here, had his birth certificate, social security card, state ID with him. They didn't care. They didn't want to see it. They took him away, held him for 10 hours, and then just let him go. No explanation. Across the same city, American citizens, people born in the U.S., in U.S. hospitals, people carrying passports are being zip-tied and accused of lying about their own identity. One woman says agents told her that she didn't look like her own name. Did you guys hear that story? There's a woman who was married, but she had a name that sounded kind of waspy, or what they thought, I guess, was an American name or white name. And these ignoramuses, you don't look like your own name. What is that? What is my name supposed to look like? Think about what that means. A government deciding who counts as Americans based on their face, their skin, their accent, and their last names. So you guys know this is not about border security, right? Am I boring you? I don't know. Am I boring you? Because I will move on. Because I feel like sometimes, you know, I just keep preaching at you and you're going to get tired of me, but yeah, maybe you have to, because this is some scary shit. I mean, if you think that you sitting at home right now, if you're having your dinner, you're just sitting watching me on the couch, wherever you are in your office, if you think that they can't come for you and they're not going to come for you, or that you wouldn't get the same treatment, you are out of your damn mind. So I want you to know this is not about border security. This is not about safety. It's about fear. It is a fear tactic. This is about control. It's about seeing how far that they can go before you say enough. I mean, should I stop reporting on this and just do, I mean, what's the entertainment? What's the headline? What's the headline on TMZ? Should I start reporting that? If you guys find it, tell me, like, what is the Entertainment Tonight headline? Like, what do we report on? I mean, because should I do something else? Because I don't know if people are even listening to me. What are the big stories? I don't know.
TMZ says one of the members of KISS is in the hospital. That's what they're reporting.
All right. Well, that's a big. Would you guys rather hear about a member of KISS in the hospital? What else is on TMZ? I'm just saying. Would you guys rather hear about that? Or do you want to hear about how your country is falling off of a cliff, how your rights are being taken away, your freedoms are being taken away, your loved ones are being taken away, your neighbors are being taken away, your coworkers are being taken away, just because? So, and while, this happens, while agents demand papers on our streets and detain citizens who don't look right, your very government is shut down. So let's see, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Education, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, that they're crippled. Half of the IRS is furloughed. The Smithsonian closed down. The National Zoo is locked. And there are other places, even hospitals, all kinds of places that are closed. And then are you getting on an airplane? Air traffic control. The very agencies that exist to protect you, your health, to keep you safe, your safety, your money, your environment, dark. Because the people in charge would rather burn it all down than to share power. Just because they don't want to hear anything from the Democrats. They want what they want. But they're having a tough time now trying to convince Americans that it is the Democrats' fault when the Republicans control every single lever of the government. That's tough to do. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene said it. Broken clock. They would rather break the system than let it serve anyone but themselves. And while Washington they're fighting amongst each other, fight amongst yourselves. Your life does not stop, does it? I mean, are you having to cook dinner for your family? Did anybody go to the grocery store today? Raise your hand. Did anybody go to the grocery store today? Anybody cooking dinner for their family? Did anybody have to buy some gas today? Because your life still goes on. It doesn't stop. Prices are climbing. And what are they doing? Government is shut down. Inflation, biting. It's biting. It's like nip. Ooh, inflation. Gas prices are creeping higher. Groceries are just, instead of you eating the groceries are eating your paycheck. And jobs are disappearing. You saw the jobs numbers, negative 30,000, I think the last count. The deficit is ballooning. Donald Trump is adding more to the deficit as he did his first time than anybody ever or in president in modern history. And the people laughing about it, the people who are eating fine with their staff and their chefs on their private planes, their PJs as they call them. Let's get on the PJ. Should we bring the chef? Trust me, I know some of those people. I wish I was one of them, but I'm not. They never have to worry about anything. And then they're all like, woo, these tax cuts, yes. They will never spend all the money they have in a lifetime, and yet you are fighting amongst yourselves. The billionaires with another round of tax cuts in their pockets right now. Meanwhile, the one thing that could tell us the truth, the one thing that might pull the mask off of this whole rotting system, it's still there, unsealed. The Epstein files. 9 months back in power, and the names and the logs, the evidence, still locked away, threw away the key. Because they would rather have you arguing about indictments and shutdowns and tariffs than demanding to know who was on those planes, who was on that island, who still holds power today because of what they've kept hidden. What photographs are they? What's the connections to Jeffrey Epstein? Why is your name redacted from the Epstein files? What do those redacted sentiments and paragraphs say? What was your connection, if any, to any of these young ladies? Trump, what was it? I don't know. Look, all one has to do is all we have left is our imagination because you won't release it. So let me tell you what people are thinking. Was it a massage? Was it, remember you remember the bathrobe picture of Donald Trump? Were you in that, like a bathrobe like that, terry cloth one or whatever it was that you were wearing in the bathrobe picture of you? It's been out there forever. Like, was it that? Are there like some incriminating pictures of you, or like incriminating messages or text? Did you have any sort of relation? Like, what was it? Or maybe there was nothing. How close were you actually to Donald Trump or any of the people who are involved in this? Right? What is in those files? Do you see it now? Do you see the through line that connects all of this? The prosecutions of Letitia James, of James Comey and John Bolton. You see the ICE agents writing tickets to lawful residents. Can you imagine? I was following the law, but you wrote me a ticket. Even if you're driving without a license, usually they'll just give you a warning. And if you can go into court and actually show that it's your license, then the ticket just goes away. I'm just saying. The zip-tied citizens, the agencies that are closed, the broken economy, the sealed files, all the same project. Consolidate power, crush resistance, control the narrative, and distract the American people from the truth. And the truth is that this is not a government that's serving the people. It's a regime that's punishing the disobedient. It's a system that has decided that power matters more than principle, really, that loyalty matters more than law. That fear is really a more useful tool that they believe than justice. So what's the question here? I want you to ask yourself, not tomorrow, right? Because tomorrow's closed. You're going to have the no kings on Saturday. But the question to ask yourself is not tomorrow, not next week, but the question is now to ask yourself. Seriously. Ain't my business. I know that. But how much are you willing to tolerate? How much fear are you willing to accept? How many of your rights will you trade for the illusion of safety or comfort? Comfort is a poison, I'm telling you. How much silence will you offer in exchange for the privilege of not being targeted yourself? How much? So I was on a podcast today. JoJo, I don't know if it'll drop soon. JoJo from Jersey, and she said, I've been asking people, like, what were the Germans who didn't believe in what happened back in the day? What were they doing? And she said she never has gotten a really good answer for it, except for they were just silent or quiet. Generalizing here. Because by ignoring it and just by sitting still and just like, it ain't my business. I got to pay my car note. I got a mortgage. Well, maybe they can just, if they do this, maybe they can just come take it if they want it. Because this doesn't stop Letitia James. It doesn't stop John Bolton. It doesn't stop with any of the folks there. Ruben Cruz, the guy who was taken by ICE. It doesn't stop with sealed files. It doesn't stop with any of these people. Once a government learns that it can weaponize power without any consequences, it will not stop. So all the things that you think that are yours and really, that's really not your stuff, right? A lot of it belongs to the banks. And, if you are a spiritual person, you realize it's just material, like, right? So how much Like what are you scared of? I know it's scared. I know, but what are you, as we say, what you scared? Are you scared of what? If any of that stuff that you cherish and you think, oh, I got to protect this and I can't help other people, then you're doing the exact opposite, because then they're going to come and take your shit away because you allowed them to come and take somebody. If they'll take a body, a person away, then they will take some material shit away. And that could be yours if they want it. It's not going to stop. That kind of people who think that they have that kind of power, they will push forward. It's going to get deeper. And one day it won't just be the enemies, their enemies in the crosshairs. It's going to be you. So that's how freedom dies. I keep telling you guys that. Not in one dramatic moment, not in a single headline, but in 1,000 of these micro surrenders, like microaggressions, these like tiny, small surrenders where you just sort of become either apathetic or I'm overwhelmed or whatever. I mean, I'm sure Rosa Parks was overwhelmed. I'm sure Dr. King was tired and sick of having threats. I'm sure. I'm just sure. One prosecution here, one detention there, one agency shuttered, one truth buried, until one day the country you thought you lived in is gone. So I want you to just seriously look around, look around, look around. Leaves are brown and the sky is a hazy shade of winter. Do you guys know that song? Look around, people. Look at the people being punished for telling the truth. Look at the people being questioned for existing. Look at the country struggling to even catch a breath. People are on the ground. I can't breathe. Look at a country struggling to breathe under the weight of corruption and fear. And then I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to ask yourself, self, is it worth it? I'm not going to do the Patti LaBelle thing. It's the way my clothes come on fashion. That's what, you guys know what I'm talking about. Tell me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, self, is this the America that I was promised? Or is this the America you were warned about, that I was warned about? Because history is not going to say a tyrant stole our democracy. It will say we gave it away. We handed it over piece by piece, right by right. Increment by increment, incrementally. We wrapped it in a flag. We stamped it with our silence. And we called it a day. And we called that freedom. Ask yourself. Now a word from our sponsors. This episode of the show is sponsored by BetterHelp. October is World Mental Health Month. And this year, we're saying thank you to the therapists who change lives every single day. Maybe you've had that one breakthrough moment in therapy, the right question, the safe space to cry, the small win that felt really huge. Well, I have, and it made a real difference for me. And if you've never tried therapy, maybe this is your sign. BetterHelp has helped over 5 million people by matching them with licensed therapists online, more than 30,000 of them. You just fill out a quick questionnaire, they do the matching, and if your first therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch at any time. So start your journey today and see what a difference talking to someone can make. You get 10% off of your first month at betterhelp.com/DonLemon. That's better, HELP.com/DonLemon. This episode is brought to you by Graza, Graza. That is my absolute favorite olive oil. Now, if you know me, you know I love cooking for friends, and Graza has become a staple in my kitchen. The secret is the freshness. They pick, press, and bottle all their olives in the same season, and you can see the harvest date. It is right on every single bottle. They make two kinds. One is called Sizzle. That is for your everyday roasting and sauteing. And then there's Drizzle, which is a bowl finishing oil that takes everything from salad to steak to ice cream to the very next level. So I use Sizzle when I'm throwing something in the pan, and I use Drizzle right before serving. it becomes part of my ritual. Okay. So right now, it's Graza's annual site-wide sale. Everything is 20.74% off. That's through October 21st. No code needed. So stock up and upgrade your kitchen at graza.co. That's graza.co. Trust me, you'll taste the difference. Okay, thank you to our sponsors. All right, so I love to, I love to tell you what's going on, and then I love to give you the evidence of this so you can just see the crazy madness. So right now, I told you, I did say the guy who had a $130 ticket, not a $130,000 ticket. That would be a big ticket, $130 ticket. Thank you, Peter, for letting me know. Okay, so 170 Americans have been detained by ICE. That is a story from ProPublica. Now, and that is just from ProPublica. That's what they have been able to investigate and find out. They found out at least more than 170 U.S. citizens have been held by immigration agents. They've been kicked, dragged, and detained for days. Again, so for all of you people out there who are saying, no, it's not happening to American citizens, the people who argued me up and down on the streets, this is what we should be doing. It's not happening to American citizens. It's not happening to people without due process, without showing their papers. This is not happening. Well, it is. It is happening. So this is what ProPublica has found, what's happening on the streets of America. This is the truth. And then I showed you the man in Chicago who was fined $130. Even after he had proof and he showed them proof. He didn't have it with him at the time, and then they figured it out, and then he got a $130 fine for not carrying his papers. People who are carrying their papers, they don't want to see them, and they don't care. They don't care because what? Because Donald Trump says sending troops into American cities has become his passion. Watch.
Every American deserves to live in a community where they're not afraid of being mugged, murdered, robbed, raped, assaulted, or shot. And that's exactly what our administration is working to deliver. I didn't realize I was going to make this such a big factor in the administration. I didn't really campaign. I campaigned on crime, but I never thought we'd go into every city and take a really safe city that we've all been living with for years and make them safe. And now it's like a passion for me, and it's a passion for the people behind me. So I didn't get elected. I did get elected for crime, but I didn't get elected for what we're doing. This is many, many steps above, and I want to thank.
This man is unraveling in front of our eyes. And as I said, we're living in his psychosis. I don't know, or sociopathy, or whatever you want to call it. I don't need it. It's got. I mean, I think it's beyond narcissism, don't you think? But we're all living in it. We're all living in it right now. I must drop my glasses. And what do we do to get out of it? It's too late for the media to come around and stop. People would say, stop profiling him. Stop talking about him so much. Stop putting on the MAGA, focus groups. We need to figure out how the MAGA people feel. It's like, do I have to see another MAGA focus group on TV? We know how they feel. But do you know how they feel about what's happening out there? Mike Johnson says he has not seen any ICE misconduct. Really? Here he is.
Ahead of some of the planned protest activity this weekend, and in light of some of the images we've seen out of Chicago of federal agents shooting fake leaders with pepper balls and arresting journalists, where's the limit for you on what's acceptable conduct for federal law enforcement, and when is it incumbent on Congress to step up and demand oversight?
To demand oversight on federal law enforcement? Well, I've not seen them cross the line yet, and that we have committees of jurisdiction who have that responsibility, but it's not risen to that level. What I've seen is the abuse of law enforcement by radical leftist activists. Most recently, the most threatening thing I've seen yet was the naked bicyclers in Portland who were protesting ICE down there. I mean, it's getting really ugly. They have attacked, physically assaulted officers. People have been arrested, okay? This is serious business. And ICE and the valiant, brave, patriotic Americans who step up to serve in these dangerous law enforcement positions deserve our respect and our support. And any elected member of this body should be vocally supporting law enforcement. You're supposed to be on the side of the good, not the crazy radicals. Look, I was a First Amendment lawyer. I understand. I was a religious liberty defense lawyer. I understand free speech. We vigorously protect the right to free speech, but you cannot assault law enforcement officers. And there is a line that has to be maintained. It's not risen to the level of Congress yet, but we're watching that closely. And the Republican Party stands for law enforcement. That's what we're going to be. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's bullshit. Also, law enforcement cannot beat up and brutalize citizens. Are there skirmishes? Sure. Some of it, is it provoked by the protesters? Very few. It is the other way around. These agents are mistreating people. Now, you heard him say, I haven't seen any abuse. That was what, and he stands there with a straight face, and no one said, well, in Chicago, they arrested this person and then they had to let him go. In Portland, they did this person. In Tennessee, they did, and like nobody in the media challenged him. But here's the real deal as he is lying about this shit. Put it up.
To mend oversight on federal law enforcement? Well, I've not seen them cross the line yet, and that we have committees of jurisdiction who have that responsibility, but it's not risen to that level. What I've seen is the abuse of law enforcement by radical leftist activists. Most recently, the most threatening thing I've seen yet was the naked bicyclers in Portland who were protesting ICE down there. I mean, it's getting really ugly. They have attacked, physically assaulted officers. People have been arrested. Okay, this is serious business, and ICE and the valiant, brave, patriotic Americans who step up to serve in these dangerous law enforcement positions deserve our respect and our support. And any elected member of this body should be vocally supporting law enforcement. You're supposed to be on the side of the good, not the crazy radicals.
Can somebody please call Mike Johnson's office and send him a link to that, or just, or email his office and say, maybe you should take a look at this when you're up there before you go out there and you spout your bullshit. Maybe you should take a look at this. Now, wait till you hear about what they're saying about this protest this weekend. Look, they are hot. They're hot and they are scared, and they are out in force. They got the talking points and everything for this protest, for these protests. They're calling people who are going to take part in these protests, everything but a child of God. Wait till you hear what they have to say. And then I have some inspiration. That's like Michelle Obama thing. Then I have some inspiration for all of you right after a word from our sponsors. The Don Lemon Show is brought to you by Radioactive Media. The audio marketing experts recently named one of Inc. magazine's fastest growing companies. Look, times are tough right now. The economy is unpredictable. And if you run a business, you need to make every marketing dollar count. That's where podcast and radio come in, okay? Audio reaches more people than social media, builds deeper trust, and delivers engaged, loyal listeners like the ones right here on the Don Lemon Show, on the Don Lemon channel. My partners at Radioactive know how to launch, optimize, and scale audio campaigns that work. They even use audio themselves, including this show. So why not make it work for you? Text podcast to 511-511 or visit radioactivemedia.com to find out how audio can transform your business. That's PODCAST podcast. You can text it to 511-511 and watch how far your message can go. Text fees may apply. Support for the show comes from Lean. We've all tried the diets, the juice cleanses, cabbage soup, you name it, only to gain weight back. Doctors call that weight cycling, and half of Americans do it. Over time, it can raise your risk of diabetes, liver damage, even heart disease. That's why I like Lean. It is a non-prescription oral supplement created by doctors to target weight loss in 3 ways. It helps maintain healthy blood sugar, it curbs appetite and cravings, and it burns fat by converting it into energy, helping you lose weight and keep it off. Now, I've seen friends use lean to break the yo-yo cycle for good, and it is a game changer. Add it to your routine and see the difference. Get 20% off when you use the code LEMON at takelean.com. That's TAKELEAN.com with the code LEMON for 20% off. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. We appreciate our sponsors help us to stay out here viable on these streaming independent streets. And so does your generosity, you becoming a member and you subscribing. So thank you for that. Okay. Before I go on with what people are saying about these protests this weekend, can I just give you a little inspiration? Because someone in the chat told me, I need some inspiration, Don. Can you play the lady? I need some inspiration, Don. Can you play the lady? You guys want to be inspired? You want to know how you should react to all of this? You want to know the energy that you should have? You want to know the power and the strength that you should have, the resolve that you should have? This beautiful woman, I think her name is Charlotte. I give you Charlotte. Roll it.
Bitch, you stupid bitch. That's why y'all, you're a bunch of fucking criminals. I wish you would. I wish the fuck you would. Yes, the fuck we his family. Y'all a bunch of big pussies. Don't tell me to calm down. Who the fuck is you? We don't like none of you.
You okay?
No, how can I be okay? You okay? Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I look like I'm okay? Don't come up in my face here because I hit hard. Fuck wrong with y'all.
Try it.
I wish you would.
Try it.
You try me and see what the fuck happened. Nigga, we angry. All of us angry out here. So don't think it's y'all alone.
Get out of here.
You who you telling get out of here? Why you telling me get out of here? You asked me a question and I'm answering you.
Get out of here. Man.
Fuck wrong with you? Oh, stupid ass bitch. That's why you gotta hide your face.
You wanna go to jail?
You call me my mother, I can tell you anything.
You wanna go to
Fuck
jail?
wrong with you? You wanna hit me? Hit me, bitch. You ain't got me. Nobody's scared of you. You're a pussy ass. Come. I got rings on, bitch. So yeah, you gonna fight, you pussy bitch. You're a pussy bitch. That's why your kids them don't like you and your wife is fucking on you. That's why you gotta hide your face. My face ain't hidden, bitch. I'm American, you stupid bitch. Fuck wrong with y'all? You can take me too high. I'm Charlotte the Zodiac first. You know what to do? Tell them, no. You want me? Fuck wrong with y'all? Fuck all of you. Put that on the news. Let Trump see it. I'm so fucking ready, bitch.
Now, we played that yesterday, and someone said, what did she say at the end? A bunch of whatever. She says, so everyone will know if you listen to it, bunch of effing racists is what she said. That's what she said at the end. Now put that on the news and let Donald Trump see it. Bunch of effing racists. Someone said that, I believe someone said that she said the R word, the rapist, but I think she just said racist. That's what I think. That's an inspiration. You know what else is an inspiration? They go hand in hand. Ebony and ebony. Here's my dude from Chicago.
I say what I want to say. I got a freedom of speech regardless of what Donald Trump thinks. I can say what the fuck I want to say.
What do you want to say to Donald Trump?
Fuck Donald Trump. Die from natural causes. Pam Bundy an idiot. Christy Nome ugly. Fuck Donald Trump. Get the fuck out of our city. Basically, like, you know, quit racial profiling people, and I just hate all this shit. I hate them.
Why is it pissing you off so much?
Because they racist. I know deep down it's all like some racist shit. You see the shit all over the news and all over the TV saying this dumbass shit they saying that day and all this dumbass shit they doing and shit. Once I rolled past here and saw people protest the shit, I don't know. I just want to be heard. They just some fucking idiots, man. I don't know. There ain't really no other way to put it. They racist. And they don't like me and I don't like them. And, you know, like, they got a problem with a motherfucker like me, but they love Charlie Kirk. Like, what the fuck? Charlie Kirk's a piece of shit. I don't get no fuck. I got a job, too. I don't get no fuck. Dox me. You better not pull up where I be at. Charlie Kirk running around saying stupid ass, racist ass shit, all type of dumb ass shit. They call him a patriot and he was a piece of shit. He was a racist. He said if he see a black pilot, he wonder is he qualified. He a piece of shit, bro. Like, he the one said that a couple gun deaths is okay for the Second Amendment. He said that shit. Then when he get shot, we all supposed to cry. He was talking shit the minute the bullet hit his neck. He's still talking shit. His stupid ass wife still out here being racist and trying to throw Super Bowl shows. They dumb as hell in Bad Bunny, Puerto Rican. They don't even know he American. They just racist. Like, they just see, oh, he's brown. He just racist, bro. So fuck all of them.
So there's your moment of inspiration. This is why they're so angry. They know people are ticked. They know the polls show that people are pissed off. They're sick of it. That's the energy everyone needs. If you don't agree with all of this bull that's happening around the country, that's the energy you need right there. You don't have to comply. Take care. Don't get roughed up. Don't put your safety in jeopardy, but be bold. Be confident. You're an American citizen. You have rights. This is why they're so scared. This is Senator Steve Daines, only one. I'm going to play you a couple of people. Did you hear the stuff that they're saying? My mom wants me to stop cursing so much, but I've been in the newsroom for 30 years. We have bad mouth. This is the shit that they're saying about the people who are taking part in this rally. They're so scared that they have to come up with BS. They have to come up with nothing but negativity to demonize people and to put them in fear about exercising their First Amendment right to assemble and protest. Senator Steve Daines first.
There's 250 different far-left progressive groups that are part of this No Kings rally on Saturday. You can go on their website and you can see it. Their logos are prominently displayed. As Speaker Johnson correctly said, this is a We Hate America rally. And the bottom line is the Democrats, the far left, are very upset the fact they lost the election last November. President Trump won a landslide. We reclaimed the United States Senate. We have the House. They are frustrated. They're angry. But sadly, they're expressing their anger and frustration by shutting down the government and hurting the American people.
Now, the people who shut down the government are the people who are in control of the government, and that is Republicans, judicial branch, executive branch, legislative branch. All three branches of government, they're in control. So it's not the Democrats that are shutting it down. That's a tough one to sell. I know you keep trying to do it, and you're just tap dancing out there, Steve Daines, and talking shit about the American people. You know who else is doing it? Surprise, surprise. Ted Cruz. Roll it.
What I've been urging is follow the money, cut off the money. And you look at this No Kings rally, and there's considerable evidence that George Soros and his network is behind funding these rallies,
okay,
which may
please.
well be right.
Now it's George Soros. You guys let me know if you got a check from George Soros, okay? Let me know. Because I want to check. I'm just saying. Keep going, Andy.
It's all across the country, and Soros is writing the check. And so I've introduced legislation called the Stop Funders Act that would add rioting to the list of predicate offenses for RICO. Why is that? Because it would let the Department of Justice use RICO, racketeering, to prosecute the money that is funding the anti-Semitic protests on campuses, the pro-open border protest in LA and other cities, and these No King protests. Anyone that is supporting rioting and violence, it lets you go after the money. And I'll tell you, there are more than 200 left-wing groups behind these No Kings rallies this weekend. They deliberately are blind to what each of the others are doing. That's part of how they avoid accountability. RICO is designed for precisely that sort of criminal enterprise. And so I believe the Senate, we ought to take up and vote on and pass our Stop Funders legislation. And I've urged both Pam Bondi at DOJ and Kash Patel at FBI, follow the money and prosecute those who are writing checks funding acts of violence, political violence or otherwise, across the country.
Rioting and violence? Who's rioting? I haven't seen any riots. What are you talking about, Ted Cruz? And I thought, Ted Cruz, you were the one who was for free speech during the Jimmy Kimmel thing, and now you don't believe in freedom of expression. It's the same damn amendment, Ted Cruz. And now you want to demonize people for exercising that right. You want to prosecute them. Again, what kind of fucking country is this that you want to prosecute people for exercising their right to protest? You don't want people to organize? That's what happened. One of the former president was a community organizer. The civil rights marches were organized. Is this on?
Yep.
Okay. People don't have the right to organize now? What are you talking about? Oh, RICO. Now organizing is all of a sudden akin to the mob. Is it like La Cosa Nostra? Are they gonna is there gonna be like a Goodfellas movie, a Godfather movie about the protest and the Antifa? Let me tell you about Antifa. So I asked people when I was out in Chicago, I was like, well, what chapter of Antifa do you belong to? And they were like, what? Antifa? I'm not a member of Antifa. There is no central organizing committee or group of Antifa. Antifa stands for anti-fascism or anti-fascist. That would make most Americans Antifa because most Americans don't believe in fascism. Not one person told me that they were like, Antifa, what are you talking about? That is a word, a boogeyman that they are making up. Lord, these people are crazy. Okay, Karoline Leavitt is at it again too.
Proved that the Democrat Party's main constituency are
So
made
if you're
up.
going to be the spokesperson for the White House, you should at least get grammar correct. The Democratic Party. Now, I know you say Democrat Party because you use it as a pejorative, but I don't like to just let things slide because it seeps into the vocabulary, or as they say, who's the guy over at in the morning on the Fox and Friends? Brian Kilmeade. When he's like, it'll get in the vernacular. This is what vernacular means, like part of the language that's in the now. And so I don't like it because it's seeping in, and I hear people, I even hear Democrats saying Democrat Party. I'm like, why are you adopting their language? It's Democratic Party. Anyways, so if you're going to be the spokesperson, I'm just saying you should know how to speak. Keep going.
Are made up of Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. That is who the Democrat Party is catering to, not the Trump administration and not the White House and not the Republican Party, who is standing up for law-abiding Americans, not just across the country, but around the world.
Hamas. So now the protesters are part of Hamas. And Antifa. Lord. And we're not done yet because there's always Mike Johnson.
I encourage you to watch. We call it the Hate America rally that'll happen Saturday. Let's see who shows up for that. I bet you see pro-Hamas supporters. I bet you see Antifa types. I bet you see the Marxists in full display, the people who don't want to stand and defend the foundational truths of this republic. And we do. And that's what we're here doing every single day. And we'll continue to come in every morning and tell the American people the plain and simple facts, because the facts are going to win the day here. The American people are not stupid.
Okay. No, they're not stupid. They know what's up, and they're blaming you for shutting the government down. Now, let me say, obviously, I do not support Hamas. Okay. Will there be some people out there? I'm sure there'll be some folks out there, agitators or signs just making fun of it, or some people will show up just to be agitators, right? Some folks on the right or whatever, they'll show up and do it. But, here's the thing. Where was that energy? Where is that energy when Nazis, neo-Nazis are marching on American cities and citizens, in Charlottesville? Where was that energy? Because those people got a permit, and these are like neo-Nazis, and they support Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. So what about them guys? I know it's those guys, but what about them? Where's your energy with that? Anybody can show up, and if you're going to be in the street, so yeah, of course, he's like, they're going to show up. These are Hamas people and supporters and Antifa. That's because they're scared. I would not be worried about them at all. Miss Charlotte, I love you. I still haven't found. Did you guys find Miss Charlotte for me? The lady from the Caribbean lady from the court yesterday, day before. Where are they? By the way, I just wanted to say, did you hear what I don't know. I was going to say, you remember when Hillary Clinton got in trouble for saying, play me Karoline Leavitt again, and then I'm going to play Hillary Clinton again. And I want you to see who is play Karoline Leavitt for me one more time.
Proved that the Democrat Party's main constituency are made up of Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. That is who the Democrat Party is catering to, not the Trump administration and not the White House and not the Republican Party, who is standing up for law-abiding Americans, not just across the country, but around the world.
Okay, so you heard that. Like, that's harsh. harsh. That's what the Democrat Party is made up of. Now, is she going to be castigated? Is someone going to say she does not deserve to be press secretary by speaking like that? You cannot call Americans that. How dare you? Democrats, where are you? Why aren't you enraged and writing to the news stations and to the White House and threatening to cancel stuff? Why aren't you doing that? Because that happened with Hillary Clinton when she said something that was much milder and actually closer to the truth than what Karoline Leavitt is saying. This is what Hillary Clinton said. Now, you heard what Karoline Leavitt said. Just keep that in mind. Here's Hillary Clinton.
You can put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. But that other basket of people are people who feel the government has let them down, the economy has let them down, nobody cares about them.
Now, she made a clear distinction between the bigots and the actual people who are not. Karoline Leavitt didn't do that. You guys crushed Hillary Clinton. And, look, I'm going to say now, because I don't care. I don't have work for CNN. She's not wrong. She wasn't wrong then, and she's not wrong now. I mean, maybe she regrets saying it because it helped her to lose the election and it had so much uproar. But she's not wrong. It has come to light, all of those things. The Islamophobes, the racists, the bigots, the homophobes, the anti-Semite, all of them. MAGA. She did not lie, not once. If you want to know anything about this show, you can go to donlemon.com and click on watch. That's where our show is. I show you every day. Make sure you are subscribed. Go in there and hit that subscribe button on your phone or on your TV or wherever it is that you are. And you can also become a member. We appreciate having members because that helps us to stay on the air. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Also, if you want to know about our merch, you can go into back to the donlemon.com, and click on merch, and there you go. All the things that you want, t-shirt, everything right there. Okay. So we have any merch photos or we're good?
No, not tonight.
Thank you. So Legends, sorry. If you buy the merch and whatever, put it on. We'll put your pictures on. Also, wear your merch this weekend to the No Kings rally. Okay, I would love that. If you're going to participate, wear it. Also, 11 a.m. on Saturday, right here on the Don Lemon channel. Tune in. We're covering the entire thing from coast to coast. We have so many people who are out. Let me just see. I told you we had Jolly. Let me get a list of people. Let's see. Peter sent one earlier of the people who were, but I'm just going to go into this because this one is much closer. Okay, so I'm working on Congresswoman Crockett, Katie Fang, Rick Wilson, Miles Taylor, Wajahat Ali, Reese Colbert, Nick Valencia, Monique Presley, Tara Setmeyer, Godfrey, Glenn Kirshner, Jennifer Welch, Angie Pump Sullivan, Michael Fanone, as I said, Jolly, and there, D.L. Hughley, and we're working on some other folks, Eric Swalwell, and other lawmakers for you, okay? So stand by for more news. All right? So until I see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the Don Lemon Show on the Don Lemon channel, I want all of you to be informed without being inundated. Be proud of being members of the Lemon Nation. Show it with pride. Show your pride. Wear your lemon merch. Be a lemon head and a lemon legend. We're going to take over everything, lemons. We're going to start having conventions, all kinds of stuff. Just if you can think it, right? If you can see it, right? You can achieve it. Let's put that out in the universe. Be informed without being inundated. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and turn the TV off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. you'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.